Hi, I'm Katie Hyatt, and together Marjorie Lane and I created this presentation to help you think of ways to help your kids have fun learning this summer and to avoid the summer slide that we worry about. The summer slide is what our children lose over the summer when they don't have school for 2.5 or 3 months. A lot of times kids can learn up to lose a month of learning over that time, and for over several years of that it can put them several grades behind, and teachers spend the first part of the year reviewing all the things that the children lost over the summer. So if you can keep your kid on track with what they've been learning, it will help them stay ahead and get further ahead throughout their time in school, and especially the things we can do to improve math skills over the summer. The things we're talking about aren't like workbooks where they know they're learning and feeling like they're being punished. We're looking for things that are fun, where they don't even realize that they're necessarily learning, and it just takes a little bit each day. We're not looking at, an hour on this, an hour on that, just small amounts of time where they can continue to strengthen what they already know. Today we're going to go over some different ways you can work with your kids. There's things that you can do together with your children and with your family to increase their learning. There's also things that they can do independently. It's good for them to have independent time, and it gives you a break because you don't need to feel like you have to spend the whole summer teaching them. And then several websites, which they're not the only thing and way to increase our learning, but there's some great ways for keep kids busy while they're learning and to help you come up with some ideas when we get stuck partway through summer and can't figure out what we should be doing. These are just a few of the great things you can do together to help increase your children's learning and have fun. One of them is cooking together using a recipe. Of course, that can do math, science, reading, and a great thing also is plan a shopping list and calculate the cost of what it would be. So if you're having a picnic or a party or just planning the week's groceries, have the children help you figure it out and think of how much it'll cost, and they can start seeing how a budget works and how food costs money and it just doesn't appear in the refrigerator. You can also do some simple science experiments. This website has some great ones that are simple and don't take a whole lot of time, and the kids love them. Card games and board games, again, so many different things that can be learned and remembered through those. Our libraries have great summer programs. Again, they usually help with the reading, but there's so many things they do. Sometimes they'll have guest speakers and a lot of things that kids enjoy. Another idea is for kids to have a lemonade stand or a bake sale, and it's especially great if they do it to fundraise for a charity they're interested in. And of course, with the plethora of museums and aquariums and other things we have in Dallas, there's so many places that you can take day trips, and often they'll have middle of the week half price days. A simple thing you can do, especially in the evenings, is just a nature walk around your neighborhood so your kids can see all the different types of nature there is just right outside their house, that you don't have to go to the country or a state park to see these things. And then, of course, volunteering as a family is not just for learning, but it helps us and it helps our children realize how important they can be to making the world a better place. It's also important for children to do things on their own. It gives us a break so we don't feel like we're having to entertain them the whole entire summer, and it also increases their ability to be independent and to take on some of the ownership of their learning. There's great games, and I have them listed on the website page, especially math games are really good online. It's a great way for them to practice and still get to play a game and be on the iPad or the computer and feel like they're getting away with something. Another great thing is if they don't see their grandparents or elderly friends very often, they can record themselves reading, or send it to a younger sibling. They can even read to the dog. Getting them to read out loud is a big help, and I know grandparents would love to see these things. There's always sidewalk chalk. Everybody loves sidewalk chalk, and we can do all kinds of math facts and skip counting, where they again are playing and doing math. A good writing practice is to make cards for soldiers or nursing home patients. It also teaches them that caring and generosity towards others. There's virtual field trips. After COVID quarantine, a lot of places figured out how to get information out through a field trip online where you don't have to go to the place. There's a list on the website page I've added, and the kids love to do these. They can make flashcards for themselves, for younger siblings, and it's great practice with math. There's reading pledges. Scholastic has a great one. If you don't have a Prodigy account for them, which most of them have it from the school, if you don't, though, go ahead and get them a Prodigy account. It's a great math games that takes where they are and continues to increase their abilities and keep track of them. Parents can actually see how they're doing, and the kids love it. There's this YouTube website has the best multiplication songs. It's a great math teacher who's made these songs and sings, and they're popular songs. Kids love them. And Kiddle is a safe search engine for kids, and it helps find lots of different topics they're interested in and gives them a safe place to find that information. Another great learning opportunity is a trip. Whether it's a local vacation or going across the country or around the world, kids can learn so much from that. And even before you go, they can take time to research where they're going, find what they're interested in. You can get a map, an actual paper map, so they can look and see where they're going and track roads and see distance and understand that Google isn't the only place where you can look at maps. State parks, national parks have junior ranger programs. They're usually available online before you go or at the ranger stations at the parks. Often they can earn badges by accomplishing different things. Calculating how much money different things cost is a great way for them to use math and also understand a little more about the world, realizing that this trip does cost money. It costs this much money a day for us to stay in this hotel and eat this food. So they can see you work hard to get that money, and using that money on them is a privilege for them. It's something nice for them. And by figuring out how much money something costs, they really do start to understand that. A postcard back home is great. It'll usually reach home after you get back, but it's fun for them to send it and say what's going on. And then also creating a scrapbook of where they went and write the story of the trip. And this also, if you point out to them, helps them when they get back to school, because the teachers are always going to ask, what did you do over the summer? And now they can already kind of have an idea filled out of what they did over the summer. All of the websites in those places are great for kids to go to. There's several different games and virtual field trips, videos, and all these are good, safe places for them to go and learn more information and investigate what they are interested in. This page contains websites to help you. There's links to virtual field trips, and there's ideas for cool projects that you can do and games that you can help them make or play with them. So these are just a few. You can always look up 1,000 more things. This is just a few we compiled to give you some more ideas. It's also really important for us to make sure they have unstructured playtime. They need the chance to play independently and play with other kids without adults always interceding like they would in sports events. They need a chance, and this, as the American Academy of Pediatrics tells us, this is important. It builds our brains. Playing by themselves, playing with friends, it helps them take risks, experiment, and grow. And so have them do fun learning activities, but also give them a lot of time to just be and to just play, and they will enjoy their summer. Thank you very much. And if you have any other ideas or anything you want to share or any questions, you can let us know, and we will gladly take your information and share more with you. Have a wonderful summer.